I'm going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of Webmaster Tools. This isn't meant to be in depth, it's just to give you an idea of what you can find when you get there and why you need to be actually registered on Google Webmaster Tools. The link you need to go to is google.com/webmasters/tools, and you'll need to log in with a Google account. You do need to link up your website to Google to get this to actually work. That's the subject of another video another time. So what you'll get when you get in there is quite a large menu. I've got it opened at the moment. I'm just going to take you through some of the key things that are useful. This first one, if you're moving a website from one domain to another, there's a change of address setting in here which you can use. The other things, you should have a sitemap for your website, which again gives Google the ability to know what, for you to tell Google what you think should be on the site. It will then give you various things like where it's been trying to crawl. That means it's kind of working through your site. It gives you an idea of the number of errors, and obviously you can see on this site the number of errors is going up and down. You can then have a look at the particular errors and try and sort them out. I've got some interesting ones going on here. Coming from a plugin, a couple of plugins, and probably some design issue that's given me an error. So 4 of 4 is a not found error. So I should really go through those and just tick those off. It will give you a range of other things about how much it's actually crawling through your site, how frequently it looks at it. There are things that you may want to not have the website go to. Have their crawler, their spider go to, and these are some of the things that's set up within your WordPress, but it does give you an idea. It's quite possible for you to tell Google not to actually visit your site at all. Index status, this is a newish site, so you can see it's showing you the number of pages that it's actually got listed in its index. So you can see it jumped up there. And as I start adding more and more content over next year, that'll start to rise. Another one is if you've had your site hacked into by a robot or by a human being, you could have had malware, which is software that's designed to infect other computers, put on your site. And this is where you'll find out what Google thinks of your site, whether it's found any, and you need to keep that down to a minimum, preferably 0, by having good security. You can find out things like some of the things it thinks about in terms of queries. This is obviously a new site, it hasn't got any links, hasn't got much promotion done on it, so it's only coming up for one particular phrase. You can find out who links to your site, which has become important now. We've got the potential of bad links coming to your site. So you can see where things come from, what the most linked page is. You can have a look at how things are structured internally, which can be quite important if you're a bit techie, but I wouldn't worry about it too much at the moment. The site maps that you upload to help Google find your site, that's showing you what it's actually found. In this case, this is pending. It's just being processed today. By the looks of it, so it's being reprocessed. So this is where you can add a sitemap. Again, one for another day. If you've got particular pages that are causing you a problem, you can get rid of them. It will give you a critique of your site to see what it thinks of the HTML. That's the language that makes up your page. It'll give you an idea of what it thinks your website is about. There are some other things which are, again, a little bit techie, and I don't use that one. And then there's some lab stuff. So generally you can get a good idea of how healthy you think the site is, where the traffic's coming from, and have a good check to make sure things are coming up okay. It will summarize and send messages to you. So if you've got an outdated version of WordPress, for example, it will email you to tell you maybe you're vulnerable to attack. So there's lots of other things that it'll do for you. It's there, it's free, so you should use it.